We have in American elections what's called the shrinking soundbite. And this is a very pithy statement that a candidate will make. It's usually worked carefully into the middle of a speech or a statement that the candidate might be providing the press. And it's really designed essentially to be the hook for the news story. And that soundbite today is roughly 7 or 8 seconds, which means a long sentence, maybe 2 short sentences. But the idea is really to sort of put your idea into as few words as possible and state it as precisely and as interestingly as you can. And for the candidate, that increases the likelihood that the networks will pick it up and play it on their television newscasts. And if it's good enough, it also gives the voters a handle on the issue that the candidate's talking about. If you look at politics today, it's a politics of a lot of issues, not a driving large issue like the economic division. And it's abortion, it's prescription drugs, it's gun control, and you could keep the list going for about 20 issues that would play a part, for example, in the 2000 presidential campaign. And this changes the vocabulary of politics. It really is narrow casting. Candidates increasingly speak to smaller and smaller constituencies, and they've got to find ways to do that effectively, and they also have to find mechanisms for that. If the candidate's going to work through the media, they've got to play the game by the media's rules. And there, I think the structure of the news has changed a lot over the last 30 or 40 years. If you go back and look at political reporting and election coverage in the 1960s, the dominant model was what you would call a descriptive model. Essentially, it was the journalist acting as a reporter, telling an audience what had happened. The journalist going to the scene and going through the who, what, why of what happened at that particular event. Well, that model has given way to analysis and interpretation and explanation, partly because of television. I mean, if you can see these pictures of events on television, you don't want the reporter simply describing to you what you're already looking at. You want some analysis. And so reporters have gotten much more into analysis, and candidates have had to adapt to that. By 2050, we will have no group majority in the United States anymore. We'll have a white minority or non-Hispanic white minority. We'll have a Hispanic minority, and we'll have an African American minority and an Asian minority. There will be no dominant majority group. When you ask an American, what it means to be an American, it's not an answer that speaks to a birthright or to blood. It's really a commitment to a set of ideals, expressed, I think, probably most succinctly in the Declaration of Independence on the right to life, liberty, and so on, and a strong notion of self-government. And when groups have come to the United States, essentially what we've asked is a buy-in on those ideas, and some of the ugly chapters in American history around immigration have been when the groups that are already here have looked at new groups and concluded that they probably kind of don't come out of a cultural background where they can buy into that set of ideas. Now, historically, all groups have with time, and I think that's the kind of America that we're looking at today. The real glue that holds the American public together is a commitment to this set of founding ideals. I think there's still an assumption in this country that a lot of the people who are attracted to America, who would like to come here, are coming because they're looking at this as a land of opportunity, which is fundamentally an American value, that idea of individual opportunity and self-reliance, and if you work hard, you can make it, that class barriers and some of the other kind of artificial impediments to advancement are much smaller here. So that I think we make the assumption that that's part of what attracts people here.